We're in La Cité de la Mer in Cherbourg, France. And in this hangar are displays of deep sea exploration ships, no, not ships, or modules or machinery that have been used through the centuries or the ages, not sure if it's more than a century now, to explore the deep seas of the oceans. Very interesting discoveries that that Don and I have found here. You know, like the deep sea exploration to find remains of the Titanic, where the director James Cameron, who directed the Titanic, is so involved in the various projects to look for remains of the Titanic, and also discovered here how Cherbourg, France, was also involved during the Civil War in the United States between 1861 and 1865. Very interesting museum. We just explored the free part of it. In order to do more, we have to pay for the real museum, which goes through those doors. The Civil War Preservation Trust of the United States of America has designated the city of Cherbourg, Octeville, its port and urban community, an official site of the American War of Secession between 1861 to 1865, the Civil War. In commemoration of the battle on the Contentin Coast on June 19, 1864, between the CSS Alabama and the USS Kearsarge, and expresses its gratitude for the protection and the maintenance of the tombs in the Cherbourg Cemetery of 3 victims of the battle and of the site of the wreck of the CSS Alabama in French territorial waters in the Channel. Remains of the cannon from CSS Alabama. The history that in the U.S. Civil War that not too many Americans know about. I didn't know about this thing, that the Civil War was also fought in foreign waters. Archaeological excavations on the wreck of the CSS Alabama, built near Liverpool under a false name, the CSS Confederate States ship Alabama is launched in 1862 in the Azores. Her commanding officer, Captain Raphael Semmes, is in charge of transforming her into a fast cruiser. During the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865, result of interest conflicts between the North, the Union, and the 11 secessionist states of the South, the Confederacy, the CSS Alabama terrorized North American business on most of the oceans of the world. 447 vessels boarded, among which 65 sunk during a 22-month cruise. On June 11, 1864, the CSS Alabama comes in Cherbourg's roadstead to make urgent repairs. The USS United States ship Kearsarge, alerted of her arrival, took station off Cherbourg at 3 nautical miles on June 14, 1864. Semmes cancels his request for repairs and indicates his intention to sail as soon as coal, water, and fresh provisions are loaded. On June 19th, the Alabama is escorted up to the limit of French territorial waters under the attentive eyes of spectators who had come from the Cherbourg's area, but also from Paris by special trains and by boat from all the coasts and from across the Channel. After 1 hour of pitched fight, the Alabama succumbs and quickly sinks at about 7 nautical miles of French coast. The Alabama loses 29 sailors killed during the fight or lost at sea during the sinking. The wreck of the CSS Alabama was considered for a long time to be inaccessible, even lost forever. But in 1984, the mine hunter Circe, equipped with very efficient sonars, detects an unidentified wreck at about 60 meters depth, almost 200 feet. Very interesting. So the Western world was also involved, and we also discovered it in Spain and in Switzerland, all involved during the American Civil War. The deepest aquarium in the world is here in Cherbourg at this Cité de la Mer, but it's part of the paid admission to the museum, and we're not going there, we don't have time.